Happy Halloween. I am Argyle from Stranger Things. That's why I'm wearing a costume. To get into the trading for the day, I started off red, kind of big red, honestly, and had to grind back up to get green. Ended up finishing green on the day overall, and pretty happy about that. So let's go ahead and dive into the different trades that I took here on the morning session. Go ahead and sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream recap. Let's go over these trades. Good morning. Happy Halloween.
Surf shop, Surfer Boy Pizza. This is Argyle speaking. Oh, fruit on your pizza's gnarly, you say. Well, I say try before you deny.
It's funny. Nothing really happening on the overnight session. Well, I guess we're down 0.8%. It doesn't feel like that. It feels very mellow. We got a gap here to fill at 11,600. Pretty interesting. We have not done it on the overnight session yet. I gotta take the hair off. Drive me crazy. It wasn't getting a fit around my ears on my headphones. I don't know how Dr. Disrespect does it. Not a whole lot of movement on the range chart. Delta's looking pretty good here, though, as we continue the flush to the downside, which is pretty interesting when you think about it. If we have a gap to fill to the top side and Delta is kind of starting to boost us around 500 cycle level, that's pretty interesting to see kind of how we go into the open to potentially fill the gap to get the buyers that we need to fill the gap to the top side. Or yeah, I think we failed to make a new low technically. Yep. And we have a delta divergence starting to play out as well. So got some blocks to the downside on the ES. It's kind of mixed, honestly. This little section right here is kind of spooky on the ES, all the way down to at least 70. And if this gets filled on the ES, if we do get this flush down to 70, the NAS is going to at least come into the 40, like 400s, potentially 380s. NAS doesn't really have a whole lot of buyers here as we test volume at 35. With the ES testing opening range low, I'm going to get short here. I like the test of opening range low without a lot of buyers. In fact, sellers still look heavy. With all of those reasons still down below for me thinking that we continue to melt a little bit, that's the type of setup that I want to see. I want to see us testing volume and the ES testing opening range low and then rejecting off of that, which is kind of what we're seeing. We're only a few points up here in the profit, in the money, but everything does look pretty heavy. So we'll see if we can get, 10, 15, 20 points out of it. There we go. There's 378. Next block is at 76.75. And we got one at 75. And then it's every other tick after that for a while. I'm going to go ahead and put my stop in, break even here. We're up 10 points. I don't really want to watch this thing go negative on me after being up 10 points. Especially since I feel like I'm shorting the down, like near the bottom of the move, which I am. Trying to maybe get some buyers here as well in the NAS. Watching that closely. I'm going to get stopped out. Yep, stopped out. So break even stop there. I took, 10 points in the money? Maybe a little more. I didn't really see, to be honest, if I tapped in more than that. But we do have some buyers showing up, which we called out right here. Took the break even. I'm fine with that. This is a pretty nice wick. We had a lot of reasons to continue down. But at the end of the day, I'd rather shoot my shot and look for the play down into the 400s and it not work out and take the break even. So all good there. Not going to trip about that at all. If you have not yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those bell notifications. I do stream live here on my YouTube channel every day, Monday through Friday at 8:20 a.m. Central Time is when I start the stream. So you can just come at market open and come hang out in the live streams. Yeah, I mean, buyers look pretty good here. Let's see if we can get that 25 that we were talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and get long. We're breaking above volume here. Looks like we're going to get that continued sweep to the upside. Instead, we melt quickly down to volume at 25. Yeah, this structure looks freaking weird, man. And unfortunately, I don't think it really makes sense to kill this trade until new lows are met on the day. So we either sweep new lows and I'm out of the trade, or we bounce back into it because we've been bouncing here the past couple times. All right, I'm out. What a weird looking candle. After a pretty strong looking candle too. That's the craziest part. We get point and control flip. We get a really nice strong candle out of volume through it. And then it just flushes 50 points. And not a lot you can do there. Look at this, man. Look at Delta. Makes me want to long it so bad off 420. I'm going to. If this trade makes new lows, then that's it for me on the day, and I'm just not seeing the market clearly. Like, what I want to see is a rip into like the 60s. Like, run past that prior high. Let us get Delta figured out here, and then you can come back down. Don't know if that's going to happen, but everything just looks pretty strong right now. Seems like it wants to do it. Make the move back up to 87 potentially. VWAP and value area high. That'd be interesting. Nasdaq still has some, like, Delta still looks very, very good. As long as I'm seeing the strength, though, I'm holding on to this thing because this just looks very good. All right, there's 35 on the Nas. Still looking for some more continuation up into the 50s. If we can break 50, then I think 70 looks very good. 69, 70 range. That's obviously very high up from now. We ran 85, excuse me. We ran 85 on the ES. Still looking for the continued move up into 88. VWAP, value area high, all those things. And looking for some continuation on the Nas to follow suit. Just not doing right now. That similar move on the Nas would be up into like 470s. Another like 40 points. I'm going to go and put my stop in here just so I don't lose more money on the day. But I want to try and get through volume and actually get out of volume. We tested value area high on the ES. The Nas has obviously been a lot weaker than the ES. So if the ES really gets slapped off of VWAP here, I'm going to have to kill this Nas trade pretty quickly. Because I think the Nas will rotate pretty heavy off of the ES VWAP rejection. Right now we're hanging out at volume and sitting there. But I don't have a whole lot of wiggle room here. Like 12 points, 10 points. So ES is rejecting VWAP right now. I'm going to go and just take that $100. We'll see what happens next, but I don't want to hold this into the close with the ES rejecting VWAP like that. I think we could close up, but if we do close up and the ES closes above VWAP, I think I'll be able to get a re-entry. But if we continue to just get slapped in the next 10 seconds, I think this will get pretty heavy back into volume. I don't know. We'll see. See what happens. Down 430 right now. Finally, some selling going on the Nas. Right at the lows, though. Like, do I really want to breakout trade short the Nasdaq lows? Not really, but I do kind of want to take the wick test at 09. I'm going to go ahead and take that. Taking the wick test short here. There's a quick slap out of it. Looking for the ES to rotate to value area low and the Nas to continue to sell off on that weakness from the ES as well. That would be ideal. Testing 400, trying to break 400 here. Nice slap. ES down to value area low. That's basically what we were looking for. ES into value area low with the Nas around the 90s, 80s to 90s. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. That was 15 points. It's good for me. Now down $100. So from 550 down to 100. I actually really like this setup. That was the cleanest setup that I've seen all day. Delta was heavy. We finally got a wick test that actually made sense. A nice little zero drawdown, 15-point trade. I'll take those all day. This Delta divergence is pretty interesting to me. The fact that price made a new low. Delta did not make a new low. That typically gives a nice little push. We're right at 400 psych level on the Nasdaq with buyers looking good, honestly. Like, I think I could get away with a long right here and be perfectly fine. Taking a long back above 400 here. Look for the volume fill up into the 20s. We got 35 seconds left on this candle. See how we close. This is what the structure looks like right now. Doesn't look terrible. I'd like to see this thing closing out strong, though, obviously. Because then at that point, I'm only looking for a handful of points afterwards. That's a strong close. Looking for a little bit more push into the 20s. And I'm out. Nice. Filled the volume from 400 up to 420. Ended up pushing to 35. It's a nice push. I'm happy with this trade, though, that I got out of it. I'm happy with that. Brings me to 195 on the day, which is good. I mean, we went from red to green, so I'm happy with that. Okay, the Nas rolling over off volume here. It actually does get heavy. It's going to be kind of interesting. It would make sense for us to rotate back to 80, I think. Let's see what Delta's doing, though. It looks like it's still mooning. It actually seems like a decent short with a stop at the prior high for the potential rip out. I'm going to take it. If we crack 25.75, I'll get out of this trade, but I like this for a quick little scalpy. 10 seconds left on this candle. A decent close. Closes a doji. I'm going to go and take that off. I'm happy with that. A little $120 trade or so. Okay, back up to volume. I think we probably get the rotation to 05, but it was a green doji on the ES, so maybe not. I don't know. But I'll take the 120 trade there. 315 green on the day.